Hi everyone, welcome to Doc Dynasty. I'm Dr. Poe Ravel in private practice for over 35 years, so I feel qualified to answer this question and in the process answer a few questions that have come up as comments. Meaning, are private practices making a revival? So let's take a look at this. There were some comments on it is very hard to compete against the economies of scale against big corporations, either hospital groups, multi-specialty groups, or physicians who've been employed and then go into private practice. So number one, I want to just say, no matter what stage you are in trying to transition to private practice, it's like no other business in that you have to join insurance companies. There's a time delay, there's a license involved that only puts you in a particular state. It's not transferable. So those are the challenges. You guys went into medicine, you know that already. But, I think there's some of the comments that have come through, and this comment about a promote for a physician looking to transition to private practice. Remember that it is the same as starting any other business. You're not going to put out a plaque and say, hey, people are just going to come to my door. So I said in this particular atmosphere, it is always good if you're considering it to video what you do, talk about yourself and your training, and post social media that is, in whichever venue that you want, that is informative and helpful for patients, because that is how you're going to get a following. And I would do that a good 1 to 3 months before you open your practice. You're going to say coming soon, practice location, so that when you start accepting appointments, you know what to do. And then there is word of mouth. Most of software is automated now, so that people can leave reviews. You'll get automatic appointment reminders for patients, and you'll streamline your billing. So those are things you can work on before you start your practice. That would be the same for any business. Is it a moat? Any new business is a moat. Medicine being no different. But I will tell you that I got out of my residency we had no social media. We had yellow pages, and this was it. I had to put a yellow page ad. I picked a location that was within a corporate park. People would come in, they would see on the wall that there is a podiatrist here, and that's how I got my first patient. So you have to think innovatively, you have to think non-destructively, and you have to be willing to put in the time and the expertise that you all have in order to start a private practice. Number two, the large companies are still getting paid the same for an office visit, unless it's hospital-based, an office visit as you are. So if that price goes down and you're not getting paid as much, either are these big corporations which have large overheads. Okay, so it's no different for you who can keep your overhead low, order supplies as you need it, as opposed to having it sitting in your office, and try to get a place that's low in rent. My rent, I looked extensively for almost 2 months, and I found a place that at the time was $400 a month, included all my utilities and included advertising. So these are hard times for a lot of places, and you need to look for a place that can do the same for you. So Optum, as I've mentioned, has been losing money since the day it has bought up these practices. So you're not alone in that. The nut that they have to choose is a much larger nut than you can be. You just have to be smart about starting your own practice. So what does the moat look like? It looks great. I mean, there's always a niche for a new practice. You have to keep your rent low. You have to do your market research and open up social media and see where your specialty is not practicing and where there might be a need. Get all your license and hospitals in check, and post social media 1 to 3 months before you open. That will help. The other thing I wanted to tell you is, I find it appalling. I will just tell you that I just saw this article on Optum Financial. So as physician practices are getting harder and harder to start even within these big corporate buyouts, Optum now has added a financial element where you, the practitioner, can now take a loan to keep your practice going, and they make money on that too. Okay, don't do this. Don't do this. Try to save money, work another job, save money, and be able to have 3 to 6 months where you've put money away to start adding to your practice. And advertising, unlike in my day, can cost you nothing with social media. So think about that. Think about creative ways of getting your practice started. And I absolutely think there's no time like the present where large corporations are failing, hospital systems are failing. They can't keep their physician practices going. It leaves physicians in limbo, and you do not need to be one of those physicians. So I hope this provides you inspiration. By the way, with all these changes, from private insurance to HMOs to corporate buyouts, I'm still practicing and thriving. So there is hope for all of you.